G'day everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. Haven't been able to do many videos lately. Work is super busy, and when I work they're really long days. So I've got a brand new album just received, ordered it on its release, or pre-ordered it, but it does take a little while to get things down in Perth, Australia. I mentioned it a little bit before. It's definitely one of my favourite albums of the year so far. A band that probably has the longest band title there is, especially probably one of the longest anyway, if not the longest. 56 characters long, and it's all one word. They come from Belarus. But before I do that, just want to mention some really great new releases that came out last Friday. This is the first video I've had the chance to do since last Friday. A massive list of new releases. I finally got through listening to all of them, and these are my favourites, and I'll put all of the band and titles of the albums in the description below. The brand new album from Fuath is brilliant, black metal album. Order of Nosferat, another great album. Wheel with Resident Human. Wheel, if you love the band Tool, which I do, you'll love Wheel. Such a great band. Avaland, great album. Symphonic metal album. Fuoco Fatuo, a death doom band, more on straight up the doom side of things, pretty heavy, with their album Obsidian Katabasis, or Katabasis I think it's called. Liam, the death doom metalhead, and Ron Haggerty. You two will definitely love that album. I would check it out for sure. What else have we got? We've got As Everything Unfolds, fantastic metalcore band with a brand new album, sort of a hardcore metalcore band. Really good. Karma Violence have a brand new album out. Mount of the Congregation has one of the best album covers of the year for sure. In fact, the one I'm about to show you today has one of the best album covers. But yeah, Karma Violence, just such a great album cover. So I think out of all the list I listened to, there was about 16 or 17 albums that got saved onto my end of year list that I will later cull to get down to the top 100. But just a massive list. I mean, April and May normally is like that, but just so many great new releases, just really top stuff. But what I'm going to talk about today is an album that I just received. As I say, I got it on pre-order, but it does take it was actually released the end of January, and I just got it a couple of days ago, and this is the first chance I've had to make a video. Listened quite a bit. I bought it off their website and then listened to it quite a bit off their Bandcamp page as well. Their first album was really good, more straight up, a little bit more simplistic, I want to say. That it was good, but I felt like they still had a ways to go yet to find what they were all about. Now, if you think their band title name is long, the first album they had, the actual title of the album was 205 characters long. Just ridiculous. So they are from Minsk, Belarus. Now, they're short and old. Let me show you the album. So here it is here. This is definitely one of my favourite albums so far. I've got quite a few at the moment. There's probably about 30 to 35 albums so far that are in the upper echelon. I've saved about 130 albums, maybe a bit more, onto my list so far, but there's about 30 to 35 that are the absolute upper echelon, and this is really right up there with them. So their band name gets shortened to Ex Imperatus. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not. I will try, but that all that yellow writing there, that is their band name in full. I think it's 51 characters I counted, not 56, 51. And that's their name there. You can see it written in beautiful death metal font up the top there. Look at that album cover. So good. Just awesome stuff. So they're from Minsk, Belarus. This is their second album. There's 6 tracks on the album, but two like there's one that's an intro instrumental, and then the one at the end that's the finish instrumental. So there's 4 main tracks. They're all pretty reasonably long. Now this album is a lot more progressive. The first album was straight up brutal death metal with a little bit of technical death metal. This album is a lot more progressive. I would class this as progressive, brutal death metal. The brutality not quite as much as the first album, but it's definitely still there. A lot more there's a lot of tempo changes. They never really get super fast. You could never put them in the death thrash class, that's for sure. They're always very much on the mid-tempo, maybe a little bit quicker than mid-tempo, down to very slow, deliberate, plodding death metal. Couldn't really describe them as death doom, but you probably understand what I mean. They're sort of getting into that area, definitely for sure. Really, really good songwriting. I think the songwriting on this one has improved so much to the fact that now this is a really well-written album. I mean, you've got my 2 favourites on here are Unhutu, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Inkarad. I'm not sure. I think that's how you pronounce them. Unhutu and Inkarad. On the inner sleeve, I'll show you in a minute. On the inner sleeve, they have the what it means for each band title. And there's a lovely big long sort of story on the inner sleeve. But the one Inkarad, it actually starts off with a really sort of cosmic, slow releasing guitar solo. The whole song just starts out really, really beautiful stuff for such a heavy album. So nice that it starts out with this sort of trancey, slow building guitar solo, and then breaks into the heaviness. But there is lots of passages. It doesn't really get sort of acoustic and light like an Opeth album would, but it's certainly not just brutality for the sake of it all the way through. The tempo changes are really good. It makes it interesting. There's lots of great little passages that take you out of what you're listening to and then bring you back. Just so well written. Look at that. I love this album. Absolutely love it. I like the last one, but it wasn't enough for me to purchase it physical. So as soon as the Bandcamp was updated with this one and there was tracks you could listen to, I only really listened to 1.5 of the first 2 songs, and I went, yeah, I'm going to pre-order this for sure. Love it so much. Let me just show you. So that's the inner sleeve. All the lyrics are printed on there, and you can see there where it's got next to each song title. I'm guessing that's the translation. I don't speak Belarusian, but I'm guessing next to each title there, that's the translation of what it says. And on the back, there's sort of like a story type thing, and then down the bottom, it's dedicated to the struggles of Belarus. There's a bit of a thing down the bottom there to people that lost their lives in the Belarus civil war, I guess you call it, and fighting for freedom and so forth. So there's a bit of a dedication down the bottom there to that. So yeah, it's definitely, it's heavy stuff. It's death metal for sure, but it's I don't know, without sounding silly, it's sort of thinking man's death metal. It's very interesting stuff. The arrangements are very interesting, quite intricate at times. There we go there. And this came on, I don't know what you'd call this colour. I think there was a few different options you could get for colour. Really interesting colour, and there's sort of little specks and pieces on there. So good. So good. I absolutely love this album. I'll listen to it as much as I can since I got it. I haven't been home much to listen to it, but I've listened to it as much as I can. So it's Eximperatus. So they do shorten their name on there, even though they probably realise their name's quite long. Eximperatus. And yeah, there we go. There's the name. There's their full length name. Sahrartu, I think you pronounce that, is the title of the album. So yeah, hopefully I've got a lot. There's a lot of things. As I've told you guys a few times, guys and girls a few times, I'm constantly listening to as many new releases as I can that come out each week. And a lot of them, well, not a lot of them actually, sort of about one or two at least each week I order or purchase. And of course, most of them I have to get from overseas and then I just wait. So it looks like I'm starting to get a few of them coming in now that I've ordered, which is good because then it gives me a bit more chance to talk about them properly when I've got the physical article. So yeah, and as I say, I'll put all the titles of the albums and the bands that made my favourites of the last week in the description below. Pretty busy again for a little while at work, but I've got quite a few actual discography videos I want to do. I've got a Dream Theater discography video I'm going to do, an Onslaught discography video I'm going to do, a Christian discography video, the death metal band from Brazil, Camel discography I'm going to do, the English prog band. There's quite a few of those I want to do. I've been planning them for a while, and then a really big thread. I may even make it a contest idea that I've got coming up. It's going to be a real big one, but it might take a little time to plan and might be a bit of a long video, but yeah, I will get some videos going again. It's just a really busy time. We've finally got tourists in Australia, so well, this part of the world in Australia, so I'm extremely busy at the moment, but I'll get to the videos when I can, and I'll also get to watch all your videos when I can, so I'm a bit sorry if I've been quiet on the commenting on all your great videos. But thanks very much for watching. Check out that band if you like that sort of sound. Really good, really interesting, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you soon.